any second.
I'll check.
Hopefully everyone will know what to do. Yeah, we are back on. I got absolutely no warning about that, but welcome back, everybody. You haven't missed any action other than, as Lightning and I were saying off stream, I think Living Wall and, was it Burmeister, got drive-through penalties?
Yeah, both of them getting drive-throughs, speeding on the safety car, so not looking at that delta, that is a very rookie mistake that I wasn't going to expect from those two experienced drivers.
No, indeed. Very, very unusual. Here come the viewers back again. Apologies for that. I have no idea. I didn't even get an on-screen warning, and by the time I noticed the stream had stopped, my PlayStation was still telling me we were on stream. Looks like a Ferrari going into the pits. Is that Burmeister coming in for new tyres? Lap 17 ticks by now under the second safety car period. And Rents, I think, yeah, he said... So new mediums, was that maybe a penalty being served? No, it can't have been, unless it was a 5-second stop. No, I'm not sure what happened, Burmeister, there. You shouldn't be able to serve a drive-through under safety car anyway.
I don't think you can. He still has a drive-through, I think. Let me check the race director
Thank you.
to be sure. Because you definitely can't... Yeah, slowly drive through. I think it may have just been an extra 5-second penalty he got rid of. But yeah, okay. That is seriously terrible for Living Wall, who won the first race, then I think had a crash in the last race, P9, and now a crash and a drive through in the third race. So yeah. From 0 to 0.
Luke Bailey saying he had a nightmare tonight. If you care to elaborate, we'd love to hear it, Luke. But we're sorry to see you go. Come back strong next week. Yella, Luke Lira, Luke Bailey and M. Doran all out of our race so far. We have 13 runners left. Soft tyres sitting on Reshka and Speed Queen's car, so they will be stopping again. We are not quite at half distance, and lots and lots of action so far. Yella says pain in his thumb was really bad and he span, but he's glad the pain is stopped now. So get well soon, rest up if you can, and yeah, as with Luke Bailey, try and come back strong for us next week. We go green though as Helm launches. We almost had side-by-side restarts there. It looked like an IndyCar grid as the Williams drivers swapped round. The soft tyres on Reshka and taking L's was obviously awake to that and has released his teammate gently through Tarzan. So Max in second place after winning last race has got War Islander right behind him, and they're on equal length, just about equal age medium tyres. Is that another issue for Living Wall at the back there, Lightning?
He's just lost the position to Krieg, no issue other than the drive-through. But Burmeister got a fantastic start, getting past MV Bull straight away. Krieg under putting MV Bull under pressure. Living Wall just abiding his time. He needs to be aggressive. You don't usually see much aggression from Living Wall, but if he has any in him, we need it now. He's getting past MV Bull, so that's good for him.
It is. The field very close out there. I'm keeping my eye on Reshka and Speed Queen as well. Max has dropped 1.6 seconds back from Helm, but we know it can't ever be over. Reshka ducking down the inside. There's the soft tyres, Lightning, on the way out of Hugenholtz. Sorry, of Hans Ernst as they touch going in towards Tarzan. That feels like Warlander closing the door. He can't expect the Williams driver to disappear, and Reshka did lift the throttle in the end, but really I didn't feel there was enough racing room on the inside for Reshka there.
Yeah, you've got to be very careful when closing the door. You can only really do that if there's just barely a wing showing up the inside and it's a very late dive, but that sort of stuff is very dangerous, can cause mega accidents.
Speed Queen has got up to P5, so the soft runners 4th and 5th now, both gaining places. And how about Matty now up to P7? Just a nice steady race so far. Really under control in counterpoint to taking L's, who sorry, that was actually Matty, lost adhesion, just as I was saying how controlled his race was. That I can put my hand up, that was my fault. But Matty just slipping back to 7th now. Delange needed no second invitation to go for it. Speed Queen is right up behind Reshka, and they need to work together here, even despite not being teammates, Lightning, to try and maximise their positions.
Yeah, sometimes it's best to work together with your enemies, just to make sure you don't lose out more than if you were battling. Meanwhile, Burmeister and Livingwell both chose to take their drive-through straight away, whilst the field is bunched up, losing time, which is quite clever. So they're going to be battling away for the wooden spoon until they can do some catching up to the pack. 11 seconds they have to fight back.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like Livingwell closing right on the back of Burmeister back there as well. So again, those are two drivers that need to be working together and just take advantage of the DRS when offered and use it next time round in retaliation.
Well, interesting strategies here from Reshka and Speed Queen, both on the soft tyres, choosing to be hyper aggressive with the tyre choice. Without a shadow of a doubt, they're going to have to make another stop for another set of the softs. They're going to be praying for another safety car, or at the very least a virtual safety car around their pit stop window.
Yeah, they can hang on till, what, I don't know, another 6-7 laps, Lightning, and then they will have to shed them.
Absolutely gone. The overheating starts after about 5 laps. Thankfully, we just had rain and it's quite overcast, so the track is going to be cooler than usual, but the overheating still persists around this circuit.
So lap 21, Helm has a 3.2 second gap after just 2 laps after the safety car, as Delange struggles away from on traction. Max then in second, with the War Islander in third, Reshka fourth, and Speed Queen fifth. Taking Elsa sixth, Delange we ride with in seventh, trying to hold off Matty, who's gained the most places so far from Simply Craig, Envy Bull, Burmeister and Livingwall at the back together, trying to get back on terms. They also could really do with another safety car.
They, yeah, we have a few drivers who could do with a safety car, like Burmeister and Livingwall, who are looking very close here. I think Livingwall's going to go for a move. By the looks of it, he's staying really close, even through sector 2, which has got lots of dirty air. Meanwhile, Jaum with a 1:12.4 new fastest lap.
Certainly looking quick out there.
Dominant from him.
Here goes Speed Queen down the inside of Tarzan, goes for an absolute dive bomb. Brakes late, but actually gains the better traction zone on the outside, and that's one way of getting it done.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Claimed the track, didn't she?
Which you really need with this strategy. You have to have some hyper aggression to make up the at least 15-second gap to the rest of the field, which is going to be quite difficult to do in the next 5 laps of speed with these tyres.
How difficult is it, though, having followed another driver for several laps, to then suddenly change your braking zone and go for a move like that? It must be incredibly hard.
Well, I know for a fact that Speed Queen has no racing line, so that makes it 10 times more difficult. And also into such a tight braking zone, you only brake just before the 50-meter board, so around 55-60 meters. So to be able to go for such a dive bomb into a corner like that takes real talent and a lot of bravery under the brakes.
Yeah, fantastic stuff.
Reshka is going to go for it. Not done yet. Around the outside.
Speed Queen's going to go inside-outside, I think, here. She knows the best grip is on the outside of that corner, and she can claim the corner as she did. Reshka not quite as brave or as late on the brakes. That's as Speed Queen was the lap prior.
Absolutely. You've made a very good point there. Meanwhile, Jaum setting fastest lap after fastest lap. 5.5 second gap already to Max. I don't know how he's so quick.
Yeah, he's really on it. He and Yella were definitely the quickest guys in race trim today. Although Yella was in a wet setup, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And driving injured. So, yeah.
Well, hopefully
just goes to show how quick how quick he really is. Oh, big bump over the inside curb of Hans Ernst. Goes taking L's, and he's been a little bit ragged tonight, so maybe this track perhaps not one of his most practiced or most time trialed circuits. It seems a little bit on the edge tonight.
Yeah, we saw during the wet period you caused a massive train of cars.
Yeah.
He just seems to be just holding on for dear life. With that 5-second penalty, being the slow one in the train is not going to do him any favours.
But it is helping, talking about favours, it is helping Reschke and Speed Queen, because their pace is dropping off now. Speed Queen is quicker than Reschke, but not quicker than War Islander, and Reschke is only a little bit quicker than taking L's. So I think their tyres starting to reach the end of their life. Certainly the mediums are in better condition here.
It's also helping Livingwall and Burmeister, who have caught up now 7.7 seconds. The gap to the trainer cars.
Yeah.
Previously it was 15, and Burmeister makes a huge mistake, but he manages to keep the car stable. Huge mistake through I think turn 6, is it? But I don't know how he managed to keep the car on track there.
And we've still got a great train of drivers in the midfield up there, nose to tail, from 6th all the way down to 11th. This late stage in the race, lap 25 now. We have 11 racing laps left for you.
Reschke's tyres are severely overheating by the looks of it.
Yeah, and you can see the sun has come out. The track is going to be heating up. Just to double that down, there's a Haas car MV on the exit of Terzan. It is MV Bull, and Livingwall gets past. I bet Speed Queen and Reschke were looking at a yellow flag and praying for it to continue.
I would agree.
Where is this going to lead them? They're going to end up near the back of the grid if they when they pit under green conditions. Speed Queen and Reschke, because of the tight field. Yeah, they'll have another set of softs for sure.
An advantage, but it depends how worn out those tyres are. I don't know how many laps they've done during qualifying.
It's just so difficult to overtake on this track. You get maybe one opportunity a lap, and of course everyone's in a DRS train as well, so it's doubly difficult.
Yeah, that doesn't help. Absolutely. But I suppose the only solace Speed Queen has is the fastest lap against Haum, but even that is debatable considering the speed of the Mercedes driver at the moment.
That's right. So Rent's predicting that taking L's or Prix will cause another SC. So we'll see about that. We've had some very bold and accurate predictions coming in on the live chat, so drop those in if you can. Make sure you've liked this video as well today. If there's not something happening on track at any given moment, we want to make sure we get plenty of likes on the video regardless of our interruption, which couldn't be helped unfortunately. So 10 to go.
Burmeister has gone from worse to even more terrible with wing damage and having to pit again.
Yes, back in the pits under green flag conditions and dropping back. Ham will be able to see him on the start-finish straight shortly, I imagine. Ham starts lap 27.
Is now becoming the bottleneck in the train, or shortly will be with those overheating softs.
Well, they cooperated before, the two Williams drivers. I wonder if they'll do so again and release one and hold up the rest of the field for the better team result.
Could save L's here from that 5-second penalty. That could be a good idea.
Yeah.
Considering Reschke has to pit anyway, he'll be down in outside of the points.
Waiting for Reschke really to blend out the throttle and release his teammate.
It's a logical option.
Foxy just, you can almost hear the sigh as he says, "Oh, Burr." So, I don't know if Burmeister's going to hang on to his fan club. Are they Burmeister for life, or are they just here for for the results? Because it's not been glowing results lately, unfortunately for Burmeister. He really needs a turn up, an upturn in his luck.
He certainly does. Not Livingwall, Matty, I think he has damage because he just lost 2 positions in just a few corners, so that's not looking good for him. But talking about Burmeister, I think that his fan club is the fastest lap club, because I think he's gotten every fastest lap this season due to pitting.
That kind of fan, eh? Foxy says Burr fan club, what fan club? No, come on, Burmeister is nothing if not popular. If we had a fan boost, Burmeister would get it every week, I think.
Burmeister would be winning every race.
I don't really think you can call the people that Foxy brought last season fans either.
No, I think very annoying engineers yelling in his ear.
Yeah, and they were quick to twist the knife when he made an error as well. Burmeister, fastest lap, 1:12, 1:88, as you say, exactly as you predicted. We know these drivers pretty well by now. So how nearly 10 seconds, excuse me, from Max out there in front, with War Islander in 3rd position. Just the one unpaid penalty so far on the track as well. P6 else has got that one penalty, and as Lightning said, he has 5 seconds. I think Foxy's saying he's got the greatest fans. I think they were throwing Chinese takeaway food at him last time we talked to him, so I don't know, maybe he likes that, but an interesting type of fan. Taking L's, P6, still not been released by his teammate. We really do wonder about them doing the favours for each other here. In fact, Taking L's now vulnerable to Delange, who almost went the highway around Hugenholtz.
Sorry, but you made it sound like it's bad to have Chinese food thrown on you. That is like the best thing ever. Who wouldn't want a shower of chow mein?
Well, I think if I were driving in a race and people were throwing things at me, I might consider it.
I wouldn't care when, where, how it was done. As long as it was done, I'd be happy.
Righto. We know how to keep you happy in future then, Lightning.
Yeah.
Helm just pips a 12.0. Just pips Burmeister. Yes.
Versus fresh softs.
Yeah, he's really on it tonight. Impressive. This is definitely a strong track for Helm. Will it be a strong track for the remaining races of the season? I think not, but we could have our 3rd winner in 3 races on its way. Lap 30 of 36, though we've seen plenty of mistakes out there tonight, so it's not all over, and the more drivers push on old tyres, Lightning, the more likely they are to fall foul of this bear trap of a circuit at Zandvoort.
Well, we saw Jelle make a mistake in control of the race, so we never know what could happen.
No, it's difficult to know who to keep an eye on, because it's predicting the next error is very difficult, and I'll wait for Fox's comment on that one.
With 6 laps to go, I'm almost 100% sure that Speed Queen and Reshka are going to stay out on these soft tyres that they've had on since lap 13. I think lap 13.
If they were going to stop, then if they felt they had to stop, they should have done so already. But I suppose just waiting for that safety car. Of course, if there is a safety car, chances are everybody will pit. So at the moment, Speed Queen does look to be driving pretty gently there. Really gentle on traction, gentle on cornering, just trying to keep some cooling going on those tyres. This long straight will help cool the tyres down, but the rest of the circuit is very, very tough on them.
Well, currently on their 16th lap on these softs, they're going to be well within puncture range, I think. They're going to be probably around 70-75%, or at least nearing that. 5 laps left. That's not looking good.
No, indeed. The Williams drivers continue to be operating 5th and 6th. Good, strong team result, but I do feel it could have been stronger.
Well,
up the road,
Speed
Queen holds on.
Could be different for Williams, but as it stands, I think it'll just be a single points finish from Reshka.
I don't think they will be. Certainly, I don't see Taking L's being quite so willing to let his teammate by in future races if as he was at the start of this race. Looks like one-way traffic between the two of them. Yeah. A nice close fighting in this midfield as Reshka holds the rest of them up. 2-second gap to Speed Queen, who herself now has a 4-second gap to the car in front. War Islander secure in the podium, you feel, at this stage. Certainly willing to take charge on the racetrack when under threat. Rents tells us that that's the War Islander he remembers from leagues past.
Well, I'm currently on board with Livingwall from, what was it, 15 seconds back? He's now 3 seconds away from this group, and he is incredibly fast. So, not over yet for Livingwall. Still making progress after his mistake. But 4 laps left. I'm not sure he'll be able to make much progress in terms of points. Maybe P9, P8 could be on the cards. He'll have to push very hard to do that.
Helm gets another fastest lap. He's desperate to get into the 111s. It's now a 12.053, the fastest lap out there. I don't know. And all you can hope, I suppose, is that he overcooks it slightly and we get an interesting end to this race at the top step. But certainly plenty of intrigue in the midfield. It should be really good for Max out there. Here comes taking L's. There we go. That's the release, I think. That was that was too much of an overspeed Lightning for it to be anything other than gifting a place to his teammate.
Yeah, maybe they're in a part of communication. Reshka's job now on those incredibly worn out soft tyres is to hold the pack back and cause a mega train, which will only help Livingwall, who's managed to catch up 1.5 seconds in a lap.
But of course, what's happened here is he's left it so late to release his teammate. He's got to be virtually a second a lap or more, maybe 1.2 seconds a lap slower than his teammate, while being able to repel the advances of Delange out there. So very slow in the slow stuff, I think, is the way to go. Fascinating to see how they tackle this.
Is hunting down Speed Queen, who is so slow on those mega old soft tyres. There's going to be barely any pace left in these tyres. Like, any moment they could pop. Like we saw Luke Leary's in round 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it should be, I think...
Now on the train.
Delange going for it. I think Delange is going to have a go. Oh, not quite. Reshka is not dropping back from taking L's to the effect that he needs to. If he stays with him, then taking L's will drop significantly far back, if not all the way out of the points tonight.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much a given that L's will be the bottom end of the points, if not worse. Livingwall, who has been mega fast in recovering his pace, or his time back, sorry. Oh, spin. Okay, never mind.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's a little bit too much pace there through that hairpin. There's heartbreak for Livingwall. He was
down
really
the inside. Sorry, comes Delange, but no way through there. Now Reshka's doing the job. Now he's trying his best to hold up the field. So really slow into Hans Ernst. The turn 12 and 13, kind of not really a chicane, but switch back, I suppose. Taking L's, getting right up into the gearbox area of Speed Queen.
Ooh, Delange is going to go for it. Up the inside.
They touch.
Oh, but the traction somehow. Reshka.
And a little bit of ERS. Delange is somehow has not managed to hold on to ERS here. And here we go. Reshka delaying the throttle application. Just slowing the field down here. Doing what he needs to do. There's no rules against this. It's Delange's job to pass cleanly, and it's Reshka's job to hold him up as they fall further and further back. It could be on here at this pace. Delange goes for a late one down the inside into turn 11, but Reshka definitely still has that pace. This could get very spicy as the cars behind are all lining up and getting very frustrated out there. Helm still has the lead
with a 1:11.7 fastest lap.
He's got into the 111s. Hopefully he'll calm down now, because you wouldn't want to bin it on the final lap out there. Reshka presses the button, uses the ERS he's got left available to him. Taking L's, getting past Speed Queen, goes to the outside. Speed Queen holds the inside line through Tarzan. Waits for Taking L's to go ahead. She doesn't need to fight it. Fights every instinct of a racing driver to not hold up, but Delange got by. Delange got by Reshka as well, so it's all happening on this final lap. I don't want to be missing Halm, who gets through Hans Ernst, turns 12 and 13. Now it's just Kumho turn 14 and the flat out Ari Luyendijk corner. Halm with a masterful display. He is absolutely on it in Zandvoort. Halm wins the Netherlands Grand Prix, the Dutch Grand Prix.
Goodness. Huge crash between Simply and Krieg, meaning Livingwall gets P9.
Fantastic. Right at the end here. Max is going to go from first in the previous race to second in this race. Strong championship consistency, as we expect from Max. P2 and War Islander P3. Taking L's will cross the line, but add an extra 5 seconds to his time. So Speed Queen gets P4 confirmed. Delange will jump Taking L's, as I think will... No, Reshka held off. Reshka so far back from Taking L's that it's 6th and 7th for Williams. Matty, brilliant display out there today from Matty, frankly. Just the kind of performance he'd be hoping for. Same places gained as Speed Queen, who got 4th. Matty P8, and we'll get to the rest of the run. But yeah, I didn't really see what was happening in the tail of the field there.
Yeah, what I saw is Krieg tapped Simply's rear end, and they both spun into the wall and broke their wing right at the end of Sector 2. But what a race that was. There was a lot of drama in the mid-pack there, so a midfield battle all race long.
Yeah, terrific stuff. Halm, though, your victorious winner. Speed Queen is Max second for Alpine and for France, and yeah, brilliant stuff to see the podium on display. And there it was, Warheimer third. So fastest lap as well for Halm. First in qualifying, first in the race. Apparently it's raining again. It seems to do this on the screen, but you can go ahead and take us through the rest of the grid there, Lightning.
Yeah, so as we know, Halm with an absolute domination that race, 1.5 seconds clear on the fastest lap and 14.5 seconds clear to his next rival Max, who gets a very good consistent finish, another podium for him, extending his championship lead. Warren, a fantastic P3 for Alfa Romeo from starting P10. Speed Queen, amazing race pace from that quite miserable qualifying, starting P12, finishing P4, probably on 90% worn softs by the end. I don't know how she managed that. No. Delange in the Red Bull P5, taking L's in the Williams P6. Reshka, who took one for the team and got taking L's that P6. If not for him, that wouldn't have never happened. So Reshka on those incredibly worn out softs saved the team there. DTX Matty, 16th to 8th. Very good performance from him. Livingwall managing to recover from that spin and drive through P9. Krieg, MV Bull, Simply, Burmeister, who didn't get the fastest lap. Jelly, Luke Lira, Luke Bailey, M. Durant finish out the grid. Yeah, heartbreak for Jelly and Luke.
Not only is Halm super fast on the racing, he's also got to rush. He's got to be at work in 15 minutes, he says. Oh, no wonder he was in a hurry to finish the race tonight.
That's why he did it so quickly.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Halm will not be able to grace us with his presence, but we do have Max has joined us already. I don't know if you might be able to get War Islander, because I'm fascinated, so we can actually get we can nail down his pronunciation of his gamer tag. Max, do check that that broadcast audio setting is set to share for us as well. Just I know I remind people every time, but unfortunately it's not always a guarantee that it's open at all times for people. But Max, I don't think you had an answer to either of the Mercedes pace today, but a second place. You must be happy with that.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that we had another Daniele Musso in the championship this season. This is really, really worrying to see the pace of Jaume. I was like, this can't be possible, because he was doing fastest lap after fastest lap. I mean, he had the fastest lap on the medium, and there were like plenty of drivers with the softs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, P2 quite lucky with that, because Mercedes were out of range really, and they are going to be a really tough opponent that season, that's for sure. Really sorry for leaving world, because we had a contact at the restart of the first safety car, I think.
Right.
Little touch of wheels, but it was enough to send him in the wall. So I'm really sorry for that. Nothing I could do there, I think. But yeah, P2. Yeah, of course I'm satisfied with that. But I didn't have the pace today.
Yeah, we were just, I don't know if you heard us earlier, but yeah, Helm was rushing to get to work on time over in Brazil. So that's why he was so quick tonight. So hopefully it won't be the case next time. But it looked like Jelle, it looked like Livingwall would have been right there with you today. But thankfully for your championship at least, they had their own issues.
Yeah, well, hopefully Jaume will lose his job, so he won't be that quick for the next races. So it's a joke, of course. But yeah, well, in terms of championships, it's good for me, but it's only the third race of the season.
Yep.
And if Jaume continues to be that quick, it's going to be really, really complicated to beat him in the end. So we have to see for the next races. But yeah, it was, yeah, as I said, quite sad to see for ourselves.
What were the conditions like out there as it started to dry up? It looked like it took a long time for the track to dry out properly, and you actually waited an extra lap before pitting.
Yeah, well, I think it was maybe the good call, because I think I didn't lost any time to Gilly, who stopped a lap before, and then I was kind of struggling because I wasn't confident with the cars and with the dry tires, and Jaume was right behind me, and for him there was no problem. I mean, he was straight on the pace.
Yeah.
Me, I needed a few laps to be confident with the car, but yeah, I mean, he gained like 1 second per lap on me, and I was like, this is really crazy. He's like really, really, really good. Congratulations to him, really, because to reach that kind of level, yeah, you've got to have skills, and he definitely have some. So
yeah,
so yeah.
Yeah, it was great stuff. It was good stuff to see you out there doing well as usual. A very consistent, high point scoring first 3 races. I think you might be on for a good result. Hopefully, it's just a specialist track for Helm.
Yeah, well, I wanted you guys to enjoy like Bahrain and Monza were like good races to watch and to broadcast, I think. And I was like trying to do my best to get you some battles in front, but it was just impossible.
Thanks, Max,
Really.
and congratulations for another great podium out there. I must, and of course extending the lead in the championship. I must go to our Dutch driver who's been patiently waiting. With the Dutch driver whose name begins with a W. We will get a line from you first of all as to how to pronounce your gamer tag.
So it's a bit of a long story, I guess, because I believe I heard you say War Islander.
Yep.
And that's actually what the correct pronunciation.
Ah, brilliant.
But since I joined IRL, everyone started calling me War Islander, so it's kind of changed now. So everyone calls me Walrus now, so I'm
That's
okay
what
with
I
that.
call you.
Okay, well, what would
Yeah.
you prefer? Because we'll try and stick with it.
Yeah, everyone knows me as Walrus, so I think
Okay,
Walruslander is kind of the name right now.
excellent.
But
Okay.
I really don't mind.
Well, congratulations, a podium tonight, and you had some really strong pace out there at different times.
Yeah, very happy with it. I had a difficult beginning to the season, and these guys are so quick. So I guess I just have to hope for some races like these where I can just snatch a podium.
Yeah.
And certainly in the rain, I guess my pace was very good. So I was kind of surprised to see that, but yeah, happy, and it was quite clean as well, I guess.
Yeah, really good. Looked like you were driving very defensively at one stage. I thought with a little bit of contact into Tarzan. I think was it with one of the Red Bull drivers?
When I while overtaking or while defending?
Defending.
I believe it was with taking L's.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I don't know if I have to see it back, but in my opinion, it felt like I just left enough room. But yeah, I don't know. I have to see it once again.
Yeah, but strong finish, and you gained plenty of places in the race. How was it? How was the changeover between wet and dry for you tonight?
Yeah, I saw that Jelle went in, and I thought, well, I'll just go with him because I always find it quite difficult to decide whether it's right for new tires or not. And I went with him, and I think it was a bit squiggly. And in my outlap, I think the pace between the inters and mediums was kind of the same. And then the lap after, the track was actually dry already, so it was only one lap of changeover, in my opinion. And it wasn't too scary on that outlap, but it was a bit similar, I guess, between inters and mediums.
Excellent. So was that a good circuit for you? I know you're Dutch, but is it a strong circuit, or do you think you've got stronger ones to come in the season?
No, I think there's some stronger ones for me, at least. In the way I like some tracks, it's not one of my favorite tracks, I guess, and I haven't practiced that much on this one. So I think there's some better tracks for me. So hopefully, yeah, then we can get one or two places higher up.
Sounds like you don't want to tell us which your favorite tracks are, which I can understand.
No, let's leave that in the middle.
Well, congratulations on third place today, and hopefully kick-starting a championship run.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks,
Good
mate.
stuff. Thanks, Worislander. Well, Lightning, I'm assuming we're not going to see Speed Queen tonight.
I'm afraid not. I wanted to ask how worn out the tyres were.
She probably wouldn't tell us, though. Let's be honest.
No, that's a very good point. Thankfully, Reshka, on the same strategy, said he had 75% worn softs at the end, which I'm surprised it was that little, to be honest. He was crawling around not to get a puncture because, 75% is the chance for that to happen. But yeah, what a mad strategy from those two.
Absolutely. Well, we will close off the stream shortly, and just one more thank you to our sponsors, GT Omega, to Nelcut Hall, Gridfinder.com, and Driver61 for their support with our racing tonight. Thank you also to everyone who's joined us in the chat, everyone who's still with us to the very end, and of course anybody watching playback on YouTube. Do press the like button, please, and make sure you followed and subscribed to all the good stuff. Thank you also for joining back in part 2 of the race after that inexplicable dropout that we had. We did get us back on before we went green anyway. But Lightning, any closing thoughts from you or highlight performances that you want to pull out?
I just shocked at the sheer speed of Jam's domination there. It was fantastic. That's all I have to say, really.
It was foreboding. I think if Jelle was in better conditions, better setup, or perhaps had two working hands, it would have been a little bit closer. Yeah, but hopefully the Mercedes team are going to be right there together.
Hopefully next time. It'd be nice to see the Mercedes battle out some next race, maybe.
Absolutely, but certainly Helm indicating to the rest of the league that there's work to do to develop their pace for the next race. So get practicing, and make sure that you tune into the remaining races this week of Invictus Racing League. Lightning and I will be back tomorrow for F2, and of course there are multiple races through the midweek for your enjoyment. Thanks to everybody once again. My name's Webbo. We've been joined by Lightning as usual, and we had our two of our podium sitters join us for an interview. But from me, Webbo, from Lightning, from everyone at Invictus Racing League, we will catch you on the next race day.